Why is it so important for us to really do the self work if we want to move up to higher levels of consciousness? So, when you understand the design of the human being, we have four essential bodies inside us: our emotional body, our mental body, our physical body, and our soul body. And when you understand the construction of these bodies, it's nothing but cells at the foundation of the grassroots level. And our cells start being formed uh, right at the time of conception when the cells are mutating to form a brilliant, beautiful body. And when you understand the dynamics of the human cell, it's made up of 78% water. And as science has already researched, the fact that water has memory, and the molecules of water are the most soluble molecules on the planet. It's very important we understand that when we are as a fetus in the environment of our mother's womb, we are in a bag of water and our cells are being mutated to form our body. That's the time when every thought, feeling, and emotion that our mother is going through and the environment that's in the womb based on our mother's emotional states is actually being programmed as a memory in our cells. So, like for example, if your mother was going through a lot of financial insecurity when she was carrying you, all of her fears about money get implanted as a program in your cells, and they become your programs, right? For example, if she was angry for some reason, if she was fearful, she was insecure, she was guilty, so all of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions are instantly absorbed, and they create a vibration inside of her womb in the water bag, and your cells are then absorbing that vibration as a program or as a memory. Now, these memories are called deep rooted implicit memories, where you have the feeling inside you, but you don't know why it's there. So, how it shows up in your life is like you're just insecure about money and you're fearful about money. And in spite of having everything going well in your life, you have this deep rooted insecurity and fear that my money will get over or there's not enough. Or if you have self worth issues, if your mother had self worth issues, you just have this feeling that you're not good enough, and it's constantly nudging you as a deep rooted program or a thought or a feeling. um, Also, if you know very generally, if your mother had thoughts of aborting the baby because you were an accident pregnancy, that whole feeling of being unbelonged starts driving your life. And then, as a coping mechanism, we are trying to cope up with that deep rooted feeling because we are denying ourselves of an outlet for those feelings because we love to be belonged and we don't like to be rejected. So, my dear friends, it's very important to understand the relevance of self work. It's not your mother's or your father's fault for what programs got created in your fetal memories, your fetal programs, or your 0 to 7 years of your early life conditioning, childhood conditioning years. It's definitely not their fault because they were doing their best they could, and they did not know how to do it another way because they did not attend a parenting workshop, or they did not have a life coach to coach them on the right way of parenting. But definitely, it's your duty to go and do the self work and reprogram yourself by giving yourself a new story. Because your brain is very innocent, it's only playing the programs of all that was implanted from your fetus formation to your early formation years of 0 to 14 years. So that is where self work becomes relevant. It's important to identify your core, deep rooted beliefs and behavior patterns and go back into them and ask yourself, why is this fear there? Why is this anger there? Why am I guilty always? Why don't I feel good enough always? Why am I constantly feeling rejected and unbelonged? And all of the answers of all these problems that you're facing lie inside those deep rooted implants and you're not even aware of. Doing the self work is very important in this journey of life because all of these stories are trapped like dark, dense, unprocessed emotions, and they keep you stuck in lower levels of consciousness. So, if you're looking at raising yourself to high levels of consciousness and to a place of spiritual well-being and a space of matching to the new energies of this new earth, it's really important to go and clean this garbage within. I call them dead rats. These are all the dead rats of the past, uh, that you don't even know exist, and they're stinking inside you. But because we don't want to go inside of us, we end up projecting all of these fears, uncertainties, and insecurities on other people in our life. Like, what does that really mean? So, if I have deep rooted anger inside me, implanted inside my cellular memories, I know I'm feeling angry. Now, our brain is working on self preservation. So, it wants to preserve us and our anger. So, somehow it does not want to blame us that we are feeling angry. So, we find a reason to justify our anger by projecting our anger on somebody in our life, right? And when we project our anger on them, they reflect it back to us. So, my dear friends, life is a game of complete projection and reflection. Exactly like the analogy of a movie screen. When you go to a movie, right, when you sit in front and watch, there is an empty screen there, and the movie is being projected from somewhere in the background onto the screen, and the screen then is reflecting back that image to you, and you can watch that movie. So you feel that the movie is coming from the reflection, but truly the movie is coming from the projector behind. So, in a nutshell, we must understand that we are the projectors of our reality, and these people outside there are only reflecting back to us all that is inside of us. So, if you want to change the reflection of your life, the story of your life, you've got to go and change the story in the projector that's inside you. So, taking on complete accountability of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your behavior. It's important you go inside, you find those dead rats that innocently got trapped when you were growing up and you're not even aware they're there, and reprogram yourself to a new story. And that is when you begin to get a grip on your life. My dear friends, understand we came into life to love ourselves and to embody ourselves completely and to reprogram all of those innocent programmings that happened to us when we were growing up. We did not come here to pussyfoot around and create mess and blame people. So it's very important we do take on all of that accountability of our lives and forgive everybody. We have to let go and focus on raising our levels of consciousness, because in this new grand great awakening of this time, it's a mandate that we raise our vibrations and we match up to the new vibrations of Mother Earth's new frequencies. Otherwise, the only person who's going to suffer is you. And why would you keep yourself trapped in a matrix of past programs? Why would you not outcreate that matrix, heal it for yourself, and create new possibilities? Because we live in a very, very, very friendly and an infinitely abundant universe. And there is enough for everybody. And the thumb rule of the universe is when you vibrate at a certain reality, you attract that. It's that simple. So the only focus you must have is your vibrations, and get professional help, do what it takes. But if you don't reprogram yourself, remember one thing, my dear friends, these programs, if you don't reprogram them, they're going to use you for the rest of your life, and you will only end up coping up with them as negative behavior mechanisms and end up being a victim to life. God did not create you to be the victim of your life. He created you to be the victor and the creator of your reality. And we all have the power of the God essence in us.